weasel. Up and down the city road, in and out the eagle. That's the way the money goes. Up goes the weasel. Half a pound of tuppenny rice, half a pound of treacle. That's the way the money goes. Up goes the weasel. Up and down the city road, in and out the eagle. That's the way the money goes. Up goes the weasel.
Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross, to buy little Johnny a galloping horse. It trots behind and it ambles before, and Johnny shall ride till he can ride no more. This is the way the ladies ride. Nim nim, nim nim. This is the way the gentlemen ride. Trim trim, trim trim. This is the way the farmers ride. Trot, 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 trot. This is the way the huntsmen ride. A gallop, a gallop, a gallop, a gallop. This is the way the ploughboys ride. Hobble-dee-gee, hobble-dee-gee.
Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one, the mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock. Hickory dickory dare, the pig flew up in the air. The man in brown soon brought him down. Hickory dickory dare. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one, the mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock.
The Great Big Turnip. Once upon a time, in Russia, an old man planted some turnip seeds. Each year he grew good turnips, but this year he was especially proud of one very big turnip. He left it in the ground longer than the others and watched with amazement and delight as it grew bigger and bigger. It grew so big that no one could remember ever having seen such a huge turnip before. At last it stopped growing, and the old man decided that the time had come to pull it up. He took hold of the leaves of the great big turnip and pulled and pulled, but the turnip did not move. So the old man called his wife to come and help him. The old woman pulled the old man, and the old man pulled the turnip. Together they pulled and pulled, but the turnip did not move. So the old woman called her granddaughter to come and help. The granddaughter pulled the old woman pulled the old man, and the old man pulled the turnip. Still, the turnip did not move. The granddaughter called to the dog to come and help. The dog pulled the granddaughter pulled the old woman pulled the old man, and the old man pulled the turnip. But the great big turnip stayed firmly in the ground. The dog called to the cat to come and help pull up the turnip. The cat pulled the dog pulled the granddaughter pulled the old woman pulled the old man, and the old man pulled the turnip. They all pulled and pulled as hard as they could, but still the turnip did not move. Then the cat called to a mouse to come and help pull up the great big turnip. The mouse pulled the cat pulled the dog pulled the granddaughter pulled the old woman pulled the old man, and he pulled the big turnip. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled as hard as they could. Suddenly, the great big turnip came out of the ground, and everyone fell over.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word.
Ring-a-ring-a-roses, a pocket full of posies. A tissue, a tissue, we all fall down. Red stockings, blue stockings, shoes tied up with silver, a red rosette upon my breast, and a gold ring on my finger. So here we go around, around, and here we go around. Here we go around, around, till our skirts shall touch the ground.
There was a crooked man, and he went a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence upon a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, and it caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. There was a crooked man, and he walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence upon a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, and it caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. There was a crooked man, and he went a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence upon a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, and it caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house.
There was an old woman tossed up in a basket 17 times as high as the moon. Where she was going I couldn't but ask her, for in her hand she carried a broom. "Old woman, old woman, old woman," quoth I, "where are you going to up so high?" "To brush the cobwebs off the sky." "May I go with you?" "Yes, by and by."
round and round the garden, like a teddy bear. 1 step, 2 step, tickle you under there.
Round and round the garden went the teddy bear. 1 step, 2 step, and tickle you under there. Round and round the garden went the teddy bear. 1 step, 2 step, and tickle you under there.
What Shall We Have for Tea? By Margaret Airedale. As the summer drew to a close and the ground was dug over, the rubbish heap at the bottom of the garden grew higher and higher, for the gardener piled upon it all the old leaves the October winds had blown about the paths and into the bushes. With the leaves, he swept up some of the little people who lived in the garden, among them a queen ant, who soon had a very large family running about the rubbish heap, and a large long-legged spider named Snipey, who was old and lazy and always grumbling. "You must not stray from the nest," insisted the queen ant to her children, "or Snipey Spider will catch you. He's very fond of ants for tea." The little ants shuddered and crept closer together, all except one. Andy, the Queen's eldest boy, thought to himself, "How dare he come and live near our ant hill? I shall tell him to go away." He climbed to the very top of the hill and called to Snipey Spider from a safe distance. "Snipey Spider, go away! Go away, and don't you worry my mother any more, you wicked old man." Snipey Spider smiled, a slow, nasty, sly smile. "Come here, Andy, my boy. Come here, and I'll show you what I'm having for my tea." I think I'd better go for my tea," said Andy, and scuttered away quickly. How could one talk to such a wicked creature? From that time forward, Snipey Spider never left them alone. He would lay in wait under the dry leaves until a few little ants came by, when he would rush out on his long legs and try to catch 1 or 2 or 3 and frighten them dreadfully. Often Andy saw him sliding beneath a leaf and jumping out to catch some unlucky fly. Andy didn't mind how many flies the spider caught, but oh, how he wished he would think of some way to get rid of Snipey Spider. For now the ant colony was growing so big, it was spreading all over the rubbish heap. Sometimes Snipey Spider would run up the smooth trunk of the beech tree and climb out along the branch which overhung the ant hill. Then he would spin a long, long thread and slide down, swinging gently, quietly, so that nobody noticed him, just an inch or 2 over the ant hill. One day a newcomer came to live nearby. He was a great brown toad. The gardener had found him in a hole here beneath a loose post. "Out you come," said the gardener. "I'm going to dig another hole here and put another post in." So Brown Toad had to find a new home, and he hopped along until he came to the wall near the ant-hill. Andy watched him. "I hope," said he, as he watched him one evening, "that you don't like ants for tea."
"Not particularly," said the toad. "In fact, I don't like them at all. But I do like—"
"I don't care what else you like," said Andy, not very politely, "so long as you don't eat ants."
"I do like," said the toad patiently, "caterpillars and beetles and flies and—"
Andy had a sudden idea. He ran over and whispered to Brown Toad.
"Very much indeed,"
said Brown Toad.
"Yes, I do."
Andy was so happy he skipped for joy. Then he ran back and whispered again to Brown Toad, who nodded his head. That evening, just as the sun was setting, Andy sat on top of the ant-hill, calling rude things to Snipey Spider. Snipey came running out from under the leaf.
"You wait,"
said Snipey Spider.
"You wait till I catch you."
Even Snipey daren't run up the ant-hill, for there were too many ants for him to tackle. But he ran up the beech tree, along the branch, and in a twinkling dangled at the length of his silk rope. Andy hopped up and down in excitement, and Snipey nearly caught him. A dark shadow was making its way up the ant-hill in gentle little leaps. Presently it was near the top. As Snipey swung towards it, a long tongue shot out, and Snipey just wasn't there anymore. But Brown Toad was licking his lips.
"Now that was really tasty,"
he said to Andy with a smile.
"I do like spiders for tea."
Hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. If you have no daughters, give them to your sons, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Sons, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Pat a cake, baker's man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it and mark it with T. Put it in the oven for Tommy and me.
Poor Jenny is a-weeping, a-weeping, a-weeping. Poor Jenny is a-weeping on a fine summer's day. Pray tell me what she's weeping for, she's weeping for, she's weeping Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Humpty Dumpty fell on his head. They picked him up gently and put him to bed. But all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. But all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Windy nights. Rumbling in the chimneys, rattling at the doors. Round the roofs and round the roads the rude wind roars. Raging through the darkness, raving through the trees, racing off again across the cold grey seas. Ding dong bell, pussy's in the well. Who put her in? Little Johnny Green. Who pulled her out? Little Tommy Stout. What a naughty boy was that, to try to drown poor Pussy Cat, who never did him any harm and killed the mice in his father's barn.